The International Hope Gala was a sea of black ties and champagne, but beneath the chandeliers an elderly matriarch had stopped breathing.
Mother, somebody help.
2 paramedics rushed to Eleanor Shaw. The Heimlichs failed. Her lips turned blue as the room erupted in screams. Then, a waitress in a crisp uniform pushed through the frozen guests. Catherine Vance. She pressed 2 fingers under Eleanor's jaw, found a hidden pressure point, and delivered a sharp, precise blow. A ragged gasp filled the ballroom. Color returned to Eleanor's face as the obstruction flew from her throat.
Who are you? I don't know you. She doesn't remember. After all these years, she doesn't remember me.
Wait, you saved her. What's your name?
But Catherine was already vanishing into the service corridor. Her hand pressed against the worn locket that held the answer to everything. Catherine climbed the stairs of her Bronx walk-up, rainwater dripping from her hair, each step heavier than the last. She pushed open her apartment door and collapsed onto the threadbare couch, the silence pressing in.
I saved her life, and she stared through me like I was nothing.
Catherine unclasped the locket, her fingers trembling, and stared at the tiny photograph inside. 15 years earlier, a 5-year-old Catherine had wept in the orphanage garden, and a younger Eleanor Shaw had knelt to gather her in her arms. Eleanor had fastened this very locket around the little girl's neck, whispering words Catherine never forgot.
You'll always be my little light, Catherine. She loved me. She promised. Why doesn't she remember?
She tucked the locket back beneath her blouse and sat in the half-dark, determined to carry the secret alone. By morning, the grainy clip of the rescue played on every screen in the city. Catherine silenced the television with a shaking hand, the headlines already screaming her anonymous face. Who is the waitress hero? The papers demanded. She pulled on her uniform and retreated to the diner, praying no one would recognize her.
I saw the news. You saved that old woman, and she tossed you aside.
But then the billionaire's son appeared on the diner's television, offering a $100,000 reward for her identity.
They can't find me. They'll tear open the past.
She deleted the voicemail from a reporter who'd tracked her number, her finger pressing down as if extinguishing a fire.
You owe them nothing. Those people will use you and toss you again.
Catherine nodded, but the locket seemed to throb against her chest, a quiet, insistent whisper she couldn't silence. Julian Shaw's investigator had traced the waitress to this diner. That afternoon, the billionaire himself walked through the door. Julian's eyes found Catherine behind the counter. She froze mid-motion, a plate trembling in her hand.
You saved my mother's life. I've been looking everywhere for you.
He drew a check from his jacket and slid it across the counter, $100,000.
I don't want your money.
Please, I owe you everything. Why won't you take it?
Your mother didn't even know me. So why should I take anything?
What do you mean? You know my mother.
Catherine's hand flew to her blouse, clutching the hidden locket. Before he could see, she snatched the check and tore it in 2. She turned and disappeared into the kitchen, leaving Julian staring at the torn paper, more suspicious than ever. That night, after the diner locked its doors, Rosa found Catherine slumped on a crate in the kitchen, the torn check still in her apron pocket.
You okay, mija? That billionaire left here looking like he swallowed glass.
He offered $100,000. I tore it in half.
Why? You could pay rent for years.
Catherine unclasped the locket and held it out. Rosa's face soured with recognition.
You were one of Eleanor Shaw's orphans. Catherine, the Shaws closed that place down. They burned every file.
That can't be. She was kind. She gave me this.
Kindness doesn't pay bills. She abandoned us. The Shaws will never admit it.
I need to know why she doesn't remember me.
Rosa pulled her into a fierce hug, then whispered a warning before letting her go. Catherine walked out with the locket heavy, but her purpose finally clear. Catherine used a payphone to call Julian Shaw. She kept her voice low, asking to meet somewhere private. He agreed, curiosity sharpening his tone. They sat on a bench under a canopy of turning leaves, the city's hum distant. Julian studied her, waiting.
I need to see your mother, alone. She gave me this.
She pulled the chain, and the locket fell onto her chest, gold glinting in the morning light.
That locket. I've seen it in her bedroom drawer for years. She never let anyone touch it. You are the child from those old photographs. The one she never talked about.
You know about me.
Only that you existed. But I'll find out. You want to see her. Fine, come to the mansion tomorrow. No press, no tricks.
No tricks. I just need to know why she doesn't remember me.
They stood, the weight of the next day pressing down, and parted without another word, the locket still warm against Catherine's skin. The Shaw mansion swallowed Catherine in marble and silence as a butler led her to an opulent sitting room. She perched on the edge of a chair, the locket a cold weight beneath her blouse. Eleanor Shaw appeared, silver-haired and regal, but her pale blue eyes held no warmth.
Julian said, "You wanted to see me. You are the waitress from the gala? You don't remember at all? The orphanage. You ran it. You raised me."
She opened the locket, and Eleanor's face flickered, a ghost passing behind her eyes.
I don't know what that is. This is nonsense. You gave this to me. You called me your little light.
Eleanor pressed a bell and turned her back, her final words swallowed by the thick silence. Catherine stumbled from the mansion, the locket a burning coal in her palm, every step carrying the echo of a love forgotten. Julian burst from the mansion doors and caught Catherine on the gravel drive, his voice sharp with fury.
What did you say to her? She's been crying for an hour and won't speak.
I told her the truth. She raised me. In an orphanage you never knew about.
An orphanage? My mother? That's impossible.
Catherine held up the locket, the tiny inscription catching the fading light, engraved on the back, EC to my little light.
Her initials. The date. She would never keep something like that from me.
Maybe it was a secret even from you. To protect us from your father's enemies.
Leave. Now. But I am keeping this.
Catherine let the chain slip from her fingers and walked away, leaving Julian alone with the locket and a crumbling certainty. Julian climbed the mansion's wide staircase, the locket clenched in his fist, and pushed open Eleanor's bedroom door.
Mom, do you remember this?
It looks familiar, but the edges are so blurry, I can't remember. Why can't I remember? I am so frightened.
Julian gathered her in his arms as she wept, the locket pressing between them. Hours later, the family doctor emerged, his face grave, early-stage dementia. Her memory isn't a choice, it's slipping away one thread at a time.
She didn't lie. She couldn't remember. And I let Catherine walk away, thinking the worst. I have to find the truth. Somewhere in this house, she left the proof.
He pulled the attic door and stepped into the musty darkness, the locket now a compass pointing toward a buried past. Julian's flashlight beam cut across the attic and fell upon a worn trunk, the initials ES carved into its leather surface. He lifted the lid, releasing a puff of dust, and uncovered stacks of faded photographs. Children, gardens, a younger Eleanor smiling. Beneath them lay a thick leather diary, its pages brittle, but the cursive still elegant. He opened to the first entry, opened the home today. These children deserve safety. He turned pages, his breath catching at an entry dated 15 years earlier. Catherine arrived today, only 3 months old. I'll call her my little light.
My little light. Just like the locket. She wasn't lying.
He found a photograph of his mother, young and radiant, holding a swaddled infant, the locket already resting against the baby's chest.
This is real. Catherine was more than a charity case. She was loved.
Julian closed the diary, tears tracking through the dust on his cheeks, the attic silent, except for his ragged breath.
I have to find Catherine. She needs to see this.
Julian arrived at Catherine's apartment, the diary pressed to his chest like a repented sin.
I found the proof. She never forgot. She just couldn't remember.
He placed the diary in her hands, his finger pointing to the entry.
Catherine arrived today, only 3 months old. I'll call her my little light. She really loved me.
I am so sorry. For all the years you were erased.
Catherine fell into his arms, and they wept together, grief and relief tangled in the silence.
We have to tell the world. The other orphans need to know she didn't abandon us.
A scandal now could destroy my mother. Her mind is slipping. I can't let this break her.
The words hung between them, a chasm neither could cross, even as the truth lay open in their hands. Catherine woke to a blaring phone alert, the tabloid headline screaming in her hand.
Did you do this? Did you leak the story?
I would never hurt her like that. You have to believe me.
They met at his office, tension crackling like static, a camera flash from the street below.
Look at this. Family secret, orphanage scandal, Shaw matriarch's dark pasts.
This isn't how it should be. They twisted it.
My mother will see this. It will destroy her.
News alerts flooded in, reporters at the mansion gate, phones ringing off the hook in every room. Julian's PR team moved to kill the story, deny everything, bury the orphanage again.
No, we can't bury the truth again. That's what she would have wanted to protect the others.
Amid the uproar, in her bedroom, Eleanor Shaw sat up with startling clarity, her pale eyes no longer confused.
Get me a pen. I need to write.
The orphanage was my greatest joy. I hid it to protect the children from my husband's enemies. Forgive my silence. She signed her name with a trembling hand and extended the paper as Julian rushed in.
Mother, this is the truth we needed.
He video called Catherine, the screen lighting the dim room, and held the statement up to the camera.
She remembers. Oh, she remembers. We have to go public with this. Now, before the narrative gets worse.
We'll hold a press conference. Tomorrow, no more hiding.
The night was long as they prepared, but for the first time, the truth felt like a shield, not a wound. In Julian's study, the early light fell on scattered papers and 2 cups of cold coffee. They had been rehearsing since dawn.
What if this kills her? The stress could shatter what's left of her mind.
She already wrote the truth. Hiding only hurt us. You saw her face. She's been dying to tell this.
You don't understand. The press will tear her apart. They'll say she was a fraud, a secret keeper.
Maybe they will, but her words are there, and I just want her legacy to be known, not buried.
I know. I am sorry. I am just scared.
They reached across the desk and clasped hands, the locket and the diary lying between them like silent witnesses.
We'll read her statement. And you'll speak too. The world needs to hear from the little light she saved.
I've never spoken in front of a crowd, but for her, I will.
Julian called his PR chief, set up the conference tomorrow. No more hiding. They looked at each other, ready to face the storm. The press room fell silent as Julian Shaw approached the podium, his face a mask of resolve.
My mother, Eleanor Shaw, established a secret orphanage years ago to shield children from my father's dangerous enemies. He unfolded her letter. The orphanage was my greatest joy. I ask only for your forgiveness. This locket belongs to Catherine Vance, a child she raised. Catherine, your story.
Catherine moved to the microphone, her hands trembling but her voice steady.
I was 3 months old when Eleanor took me in. She called me her little light. She saved dozens of children like me. Her love was never a scandal. It was a lifeline.
The locket glinted under the camera lights, a tiny testament to a hidden history. The room erupted, applause, tears, a standing ovation that washed over them like absolution. Catherine and Julian looked at each other. The weight finally lifted. Within days, the headlines transformed from scandal to tribute, the Shaw Heart of Gold. Number Eleanor Shaw trended worldwide. Catherine stood in a bright community hall, surrounded by familiar faces. Former orphans who had seen the press conference. A woman rushed forward, tears streaming. I remember you, little Catherine. Rosa pushed through the crowd and pulled Catherine into a crushing embrace.
In honor of my mother, I am establishing the Eleanor Shaw Foundation for Displaced Children. Catherine will serve as co-chair.
Catherine stood beside him, clutching the locket, her eyes bright with unshed tears.
From waitress to running a foundation. Not bad, mija.
It's not about me, but I need to do one more thing. I need to see Eleanor before her mind fades completely.
Rosa squeezed her hand, and Catherine slipped out of the celebration. The locket a compass once more. The care facility door opened to a golden afternoon, and Catherine found Eleanor in a chair by the window. Eleanor's gaze was distant, empty, as if Catherine were a stranger passing through.
It's me, Catherine.
No flicker. Catherine reached for the locket, the metal warm from her skin, and opened it before Eleanor's eyes.
That's mine.
She reached out, touching the gold, then lifted her fingers to Catherine's cheek.
You were so small. My little light.
You do remember.
Eleanor smiled, but the light behind her eyes faded almost at once, the memory already dissolving. Catherine kissed her forehead and whispered thanks, then stepped back into the hallway, the locket cradled in her hand. In her apartment, now filled with morning light, Catherine sat with the locket. For the first time, it didn't feel like a burden. At the Foundation's temporary office, a velvet-lined glass case stood empty, waiting for the symbol that would anchor their mission.
Are you sure? Once it's in there, it becomes a museum piece.
It belongs to everyone now. That's what she'd want.
She opened the locket one last time, the tiny photograph of Eleanor gazing up, then laid it in the velvet-lined box. A bronze plaque beside it read, "The locket that started it all."
My mother would be proud.
I think she is.
Together, they left the office, ready to prepare for the inaugural gala. The locket, once a secret, now a beacon, would soon take its place at the Eleanor Shaw Foundation inaugural gala. The Eleanor Shaw Foundation inaugural gala filled the ballroom with orphanage photographs and golden light. Catherine walked to the podium in a deep blue gown, the locket's replica glinting at her throat.
This foundation is for every child who ever felt invisible, for the ones still waiting to be seen.
She thanked Eleanor, and the applause was a wave that lifted the entire room to its feet.
To my mother, the angel we never knew.
Catherine touched her glass to his, cameras flashing, and the room toasted in silence. A screen lit up, and Eleanor's frail voice filled the room, reading the statement she'd written with trembling hands. Guests wept without shame. Rosa dabbed her eyes, a proud smile breaking through. On stage, Catherine and Julian embraced, the weight of the journey finally released. The band struck up a waltz, and the party turned jubilant, a celebration of a secret now set free. The next morning, Catherine returned to the care facility, still in her gala gown, the applause echoing in her veins.
They all stood for you, Eleanor. The whole room.
For me? But why?
Because you changed lives. Everyone knows your secret now.
Eleanor's lips curved into a distant smile, then her eyes fluttered shut, her breath evening out. Catherine pressed a kiss to her forehead and left, a quiet ache settling in her chest. Late that night, Catherine's phone rang. Julian's voice cracked through the static.
She's gone, Catherine. She went peacefully, with that same smile.
In the quiet of her room, Eleanor lay still, a soft smile still gracing her lips. Julian's words hung in the air. She waited until the world knew. Catherine wept, but it was a release. Weeks later, Catherine stepped through the doors of the Eleanor Shaw Children's Center, a vibrant new facility filled with light and hope. Children's artwork lined the walls, and in a corner a little girl was drawing with fierce concentration. A little girl looked up from her drawing and asked if Catherine had lived here too.
A long time ago. Now it's your turn.
On the wall, the Foundation's logo caught her eye, a stylized locket, an echo of the one she had worn for so long. She touched the simple chain around her neck, a locket replica Julian had given her, a quiet reminder of all that had changed. Through the window, she saw the playground, built on the land where the old orphanage garden had been.
We did it, Eleanor.
She stepped outside, the sun warm on her face, and for the first time, her past felt like a place she could leave behind. Behind her, the locket emblem glinted on the center sign, a symbol of a legacy, now eternal. A young Eleanor once fastened this locket around a tiny neck, sealing a promise in gold. It was clutched in despair by the grown woman she didn't recognize, a lifeline to a forgotten past. It passed through trembling hands, a son discovering his mother's secret grace. It rested in a velvet case, the heart of a new foundation born from hidden love. A child drew it in crayon, never knowing the tears hidden within the gold. Its outline became an emblem, engraved at the entrance of every sanctuary she built. Inside, a tiny photograph faded, but the face it held smiled on, the image blurred. Yet the light it cast held fast, in memory of every child who found a home, and the light of one small kindness still glows.